The group's climate strategy is built on 4 pillars. The first pillar is about reducing CO2 emissions from our production base as well as from activities in our value chain, in particular by designing products, services, and solutions that help our customers reduce their carbon footprint. The second pillar is about adapting to extreme weather events so the group can continue its operations. Climate risks are factored into the group's strategic risk analysis. The third pillar is about bringing together public and private sector partners to decarbonize the transportation sector. In this regard, the group is advocating for a global carbon pricing system. And the fourth pillar concerns transparency, particularly as regards group reporting on the trajectory of emissions reduction and on the risks and opportunities associated with climate change. The climate strategy is part of the group's all-sustainable approach to achieving balanced growth between people, planet, and profit. Carbon neutrality is one of the group's objectives for the planet for 2050. Michelin is committed to achieving carbon neutrality by 2050 across the production base, logistics operations, and the supply chain, specifically with its suppliers of raw materials and components. Michelin will also help achieve carbon neutrality across all forms of mobility for goods and people, in particular by designing ultra-energy efficient products, developing services and solutions that optimize the use and management of vehicle fleets, and designing new mobility solutions by leveraging innovation as in the hydrogen industry. The group has set itself 4 shorter-term objectives to be achieved by 2030. The first, divide CO2 emissions generated across the production base in half compared with 2010 in order to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050. The second, reduce CO2 emissions generated by logistics operations by 15% compared with 2018. The third, improve tire energy efficiency during the in-use phase by 10% compared with 2020. And the fourth, get our raw material suppliers on board to set greenhouse gas reduction targets. Our goal is to have 70% of these emissions covered by targets consistent with the Paris Agreement by 2024. In this way, we are taking a responsible approach to direct and indirect CO2 emissions, covering all the key stages in the life cycle of a tire. Our CO2 reduction targets have been approved by the Science Based Targets Initiative, SBTI, a global consortium.